Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to Too Much Information live with Moondog, where we're going to be going over some of the projects and videos that I posted up this week and also get your input on some projects that I'm working on in the future. And let's get started by talking about this episode's sponsor, which is Aura.com. And they've been a longtime sponsor, they are an online cybersecurity company that I use to help protect me when I'm on the web. And thing about Aura is that they offer a bunch of services that individual companies out there offer, like VPN, credit monitoring, spam blockers, data removal service, data broker removal services. But here's the thing, they offer all of those services those other companies offer, plus they're all bundled into one monthly fee. Plus, they also give you $1 million in identity theft insurance, as well as all of their services. So I'm giving you the opportunity to try them for free. Use my link, aura.com/moondog. You can see the QR code there. Use that link and you help support this channel. And also, I'd like to know how it works for you. Try them out for 14 days for free. Use my link, aura.com/moondog. All right. So the folks, my friends over at the Golden Trailer Awards have again offered to give me tickets for the motion picture movie trailer award show, which is going on this weekend. This week on Thursday night in Los Angeles. So I know many of the folks who are watching the show don't live in Los Angeles, but you may have friends or family that live in Southern California. And if you do, you could give them these free tickets. It's a really cool movie industry, film industry gala. And if they've never been to any one of these things, it's not quite the Oscars. It doesn't quite have all of the paparazzi and the stars there, but it certainly is an opportunity to be around people who are involved in the movie business. And it is, that it has that level of glamour. Plus, it's over at the Orpheum Theater downtown, which is actually a very beautiful, restored vintage theater. So it's an opportunity to get a little bit of that Hollywood glamour. And so if you are interested in winning these tickets for you, for your friends or family, just type in #GTA right now if you're interested, and the system will automatically collect your name, and you'll be entered in the contest that will draw the winner later on in the show. And we got some folks here who already are winners. Vadim says, appreciate the gift, Moondog. Vadim won the Geisley admin pouch last week. And Portia Speedster, my daughter, is excited for tomorrow. Yes, he won the GTA tickets last week, and he's giving it to his daughter, who I'm assuming lives in Southern California. So, I actually don't know if he does, but in any case, he's giving it to his daughter, and she and her friends are going. So this is an opportunity to win 2 tickets to go. Also, for this episode, I'm giving away a set of prizes. I'm giving away 3 patches to 3 different. I'm giving a patch to 3 different winners out there. You get an Aguila ammunition patch because, well, I'm going to talk about one of the videos with them later on in the show, but you get a chance to win a cool Aguila patch. If you get in, here's the clue for the mystery brand today. And here is their logo, or at least 2 of their logos, actually. Tim Mooney says that she goes to school there at UCLA. So that's great. Yeah, I'm sure the students, if she's a student there, they'd be totally stoked. There's a Southern California term. I'm letting my Southern California come out. She'll be stoked to be going to the show and bringing her friends. So here is the brand clue. I'm going to blow it up a little bit here for you to check out. This brand, this is 2 of their logos. And one of them is the little walking individual is Instant Messenger. And the brand that we're looking for is a 3-letter name. And you just put hashtag and the 3-letter name for this company. And they are going to be the mystery brand today. I'll give you additional clues in later on as the episode progresses. All right. So let's get into the new videos that I posted this week. Tim Mooney also says he got his admin pouch, his Geisley admin pouch yesterday too. Good. Very good. And So the new videos, and as I mentioned, I will be going through the. I will be mentioning the video that I posted about Agile ammunition. It's their 556. That's their ammo bag or pouch or battle bag for their basically big brick 556 ammo. And the interesting thing about this is, well, let me just play the video for you, and you can get an idea of why this was a special thing at SHOT Show.
Hey, we have our new 556. It's going to be the perfect new product, perfect fit for your magazine, 30 rounds.
30, finally, none of this having to bust open 2 boxes to fill up my mag.
Exactly, and you can actually find it in all of the online retailers and in stores.
And what's this bag over here?
You can buy it in our battle bag. It comes 450 rounds per battle bag, and it's super durable.
Excellent.
So you can have it even in rain, snow. Nothing will get into your ammo.
And I appreciate the fact you got the carry handle, so easy enough to grab and go. So it seems like a no-brainer for me is that finally somebody's packing or selling 556 ammo in boxes of 30 rounds instead of 20 rounds. And that's what I was mentioning, is that practically every other box I get out there is 20 rounds of 556 ammo, which is fine. I know that the military when they issued specifications for a larger capacity magazine, or they went to 30 rounds from the original 20 round magazines, or were they originally 10? Correct me in the comments there. I know in California we're restricted to 10 rounds, at least for the time being, until hopefully SCOTUS or somebody else knocks down that ridiculous law. But everywhere else in the country, you can get the standard 30 round magazine. It's just that it's great that now that you can just buy a box of magazines and fill a mag, and it's just easy enough. There we go. So that's the new product that the Agile Ammo, and you'll get a chance to win one of their patches today. Now let's go to our next video, also posted on my 2A channel. It is my visit over at Swamp Fox, and one of the questions I had to ask is, what's with the name? Long rifle, Swamp Fox. Where's the name come from?
So it comes from Francis Marion. So we have a lot of historical roots in why we named it the way we did, and ultimately just kind of deeply rooted in American history and Francis Marion himself, the Swamp Fox.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah, so if you didn't know, Swamp Fox was the nickname for General Marion, who they were loosely based the character in the Mel Gibson movie The Patriot on his exploits. Basically, he was like a really badass guerrilla and also military leader during the Revolutionary War. He was the Swamp Fox. So that's where they get their name. Swamp Fox Optics is from that. And they make some really good products, and they are kind of like Primary Arms. They come in a little bit perceived as budget, but I thought they were just another generic budget brand. I didn't know much about them until I saw their products, and they really are well designed, very solid, and they just don't have as big of a marketing budget as some of the other bigger optics brands, but they make both. They really came into my awareness through their red dots. But now they also offer a wide range of scopes as well. And I'm hoping to get my hands on some to test out, but everyone I've looked at looks really good. Now, on my Moondog Reviews channel, and also on Moondog 2A channel, I posted a video just announcing and reminding folks of the contest to win the Machete Pro Here headphones. And if you haven't already seen that video, I'm going to grab them here. These are the Pro Here headphones, earmuffs, electronic earmuffs, and they look very much like they're shaped and compatible to all the aftermarket parts for Howard Light impact sports. So that's the reason why they physically look like Howard Lights, because they're made to fit all of the accessories that you would like. You can get replacement ear cups, ear pads for your ear cups. And if they fit Howard Lights, they'll fit Pro Hear. And in my testing, Pro Hear, here, I'll even show you the testing that it did. Noise reduction of these earmuffs here, and these have a stated NRR rating of 23, which means it has a noise reduction rating of 23 decibels. So whatever sound that is outside of these ear cups, it reduces your ambient noise around you by 23 decibels. So if, let's say, the ambient sound around you was 100 decibels, you'd hear on the inside of these, you'd hear 77 decibels or thereabouts. And the reason why this is important is that OSHA and ANSI and other sources say that any prolonged exposure to sound levels above 85 decibels can cause long-term hearing damage, and that could cause tinnitus. And when you lose hearing, you don't get that back, because that is permanent damage to you. So just to give you an idea what normal sounds are like, well, let's use the sound meter here. And just hearing my voice, I can speak and be about 70 to, even saw 90 there. So we're about 80 decibels is the sound of a regular human voice from a fairly close distance. And even an office environment is usually around 90 decibels with the sound of people talking, phones, air conditioners, etc. And to give you more context, the sound of, say, a leaf blower or gardening equipment like a chainsaw, well, that's about 110, 120 decibels. So you want to reduce those loud noises above 80 decibels to get them down to a safer level below 85 decibels. So we're going to test this out using a known loud sound source. In this case, we're going to use my Dyson hand vac here. And this is a pretty loud hand vac for those of you who have ever used a Dyson. And let's see how loud this is. We're going to position this about 5 inches away, and all right, so I saw a wide range there, anywhere between 108 and 103 decibels. So let's just call it 105 decibels for this particular test. And now we're going to put this sound meter and the microphone inside of the ear cups of this headset here. I'm going to squeeze them together, because just to give a better sound seal inside of here, because this microphone is not shaped like a human head is. So, all right, let's see how loud it is now. All right, not bad. I was seeing like around 83, 84 inside of these ear cups instead of the 105. So I'm going to say this is pretty darn close to the 23 decibels that the manufacturer claims. And I'm going to say, yeah, I'd say these pass, and they're pretty legit. Yeah, so you can get a chance to win these in my contest. And to answer Tim Mooney's question, will you throw in a Moondog patch with them? Yes, you know what? I will. So whoever wins these, and let me just post up a link to the contest here in the side chat. So enter the contest. All you have to do to win or to qualify for the contest is to subscribe to my travel channel, Moondog Go. And actually, I should post a link to that too in the side chat and just make things easier for everybody. Subscribe to Moondog Go. Take a screenshot of that of your subscribe buttons that is already from subscribe to subscribed, that you prove that you're subscribed, and upload it to the page, my upload page, which I posted up previously, which is on Moondog Industries. And you can find a link to that at moondogindustries.com/contest. So if you can enter now, and the deadline to enter is the end of this month. So I will be doing the drawing pretty much next. I think it'll be either next week or the week after that I'll be drawing the winner. But I'll be drawing it live on TMI, so you'll see who gets to win these. And whoever does win them, you'll get a brand new set of earmuffs directly from Pro Hear, but I'll also mail you a Moondog patch to put on yours. And by the way, these do have Velcro pads on either side, so you can swap out and put. They come with a set of patches, and you can use theirs or you can put your own. So there you go. Okay. And speaking of Moondog Go, which is my travel channel, I posted up on my Moondog Go channel my walkthrough tour of the Oculus, which is the pretentious name of the PATH train station in Lower Manhattan at the World Trade Center, or next to the World Trade Center. This used to be called the World Trade Center Mall, or PATH Station, World Trade Center. Now the building area is called the Oculus, and it is a beautiful train station, essentially train station / shopping area. And it, here you can see it. I'll play a little bit of the video just so you can see a little bit of that. Hey, Moondog here. We are in New York City again at the Oculus. This is a major transit hub and shopping center. Underneath the World Trade Center, it connects the New Jersey PATH train stations, as well as the New York City subway stations via both the World Trade Center stop for the one train and the Fulton Street station at the other end of the Oculus. And this occupied the former World Trade Center Mall complex, which was also served the same function back before 9/11. So let's take a look at this amazing architecture and shopping center. If you arrive from New Jersey via the PATH stations, you'll be going through this large chamber that is reminiscent of the bones of a beached whale. And that brings you over to the main Oculus Rotunda. Anyway, I don't want to spoil too much of it. Go watch it on my Moondog Go channel. And one of the areas, I've been also posting shorts videos, and one of the areas there is this half a block long LED screen. So this is Portia Speedster says must be one of the largest TV screens in the world. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but it feels like it is. So check out my shorts on that, where I walk the entire length of this long hallway. I'm guessing it's about a half a block, maybe a whole block. No, it's a whole block long, and it's just one continuous LED screen. It's just a crazy long one continuous LED screen for the entire length of it, and that's also there. All right, so let's get into my videos for one of my videos for next week. And this is a new product that's coming out. It's called ZKT saturated wipes, and it's for gun cleaning. And I actually got some samples of that, and I will be posting up the video soon where you get a chance to see it in action. But what this is it's basically a single-use wipe inside of a camo bag, and it has already basically CLP in it. And it is a very durable wipe. It's not like it's much more durable than a paper towel. And you can use one wipe essentially as the manufacturer claims, you can use one wipe to clean an entire rifle. And I used it just in my demo to clean off my BCG out of my AR. And I was able to clean that quite well. And despite the fact that the wipe itself, just the fibers of it really just hold on to the fouling. And I was a little concerned because it got from white all the way to just, gray and just mucky. And, you're always worried that, am I putting carbon back onto whatever I'm wiping if it looks this fouled? But I actually ran a paper towel on it, and there was still a little bit of carbon, but very little. It was practically clean when I ran the paper towel over it. So yeah, I could totally buy the fact that you could clean out an entire rifle with just one wipe. It's certainly possible to do that. And anyway, so if you have an idea of what would be a good thumbnail for this, is basically the thumbnail image is going to be a wipe and my BCG. If you had a product, if you had an interest in a gun cleaning product that was just one wipe and you're good to go. You don't have to get any other solvents, lubricants, or cleaners out to spray down. I mean, I'm not talking about like deep cleaning and clearing out lead in a bore or anything like that. But actually, let me take a step back. You could still clean out your bore with this. You just have the manufacturer said you just need to cut out a little patch, of course, and run that through with a cleaning rod. But yeah, you don't have to get any other like hoppies or rem oil or whatever, and a bunch of paper towels. You could just use this. And I ended up with I needed to get one other dry paper towel just because my hands were just, covered with lubricant and everything. I needed to clean off my hands, but then I used that to wipe down my BCG just to see what if there was any fouling left on it from wiping it. And it was pretty darn clean, or at least remarkably clean. But you'll see in the actual review video when I post that. So if you have any thoughts as to what would be a good headline for ZKT wipes, post it up in the side chat. All right. So here's the next clue. Well, if you guys, while you're thinking about that, what would be a good headline? Here's the clue, the next clue for the mystery brand today. So this brand launched in 1988 and it has a 3-letter name. This company grew to become, at the time, the largest internet service provider in the world in the 1990s by that time. And logged in users could often hear the words, "You've got mail." So if you're of a certain age, I don't know about you Gen Zers out there, if that has any reference to you or at all. But so who is this brand? You've got mail. Put it on the side chat, hashtag and the 3 letters of its name, and you'll be entered into the contest. Let me just see how many we've gotten of that entries so far. We have gotten some entries on that. So you get a good chance of winning these Agula patches. So get your, there we go. Get your entries in on the side. All right. So we are about ready to get down to the rabbit hole, but I'm still waiting for my special guest to join us. Let me just double check that he'll be able to log in. And I'm seeing here, we've got some good entries on the side here. Now, be sure to get your hashtag in. You don't have to capitalize all the letters or anything like that. It doesn't matter what you capitalize it, but you do have to get all 3 letters in. And Tim Mooney says, I remember when they were still Quantum Link. Was that what they were originally called? Is that the name of the company back in Virginia? There were a bunch of different internet service provider companies, and I don't know who did. Here's a good question for those of you out there who are old enough to remember dial-up. Who was your company? I mean, I remember back in the day, CompuServe was probably the first dial-up that I used, and Prodigy. Now that is an old one. For those of you who remember, there was actually a internet service. Well, it was even before the World Wide Web. This was it was an online dial-up service, and they had their own ecosystem, and they were owned by Sears of all people. Yeah, that technological behemoth. That's such a cutting edge company known as Sears. But all of us who can remember dial-up, remember that tone, and the struggle is real of having. Most of us only had one. We didn't have our cell phones. We just had the one phone line for the entire house. And then when you're online and have somebody else in the house accidentally pick up the phone to make a call, and then you're cut off. It's like especially if you're trying to download something, it'll totally And just having those kind of issues to dial up and dial up the internet, or even just to dial up a BBS. And that's one of the things we're going to be talking about. Here is Portia Speech says, I'm having flashbacks of that screeching modem dial hookup sound. Yes. So for those of you who are not old enough to remember, we didn't have anything like Wi-Fi or our internet access. We actually had to use our phones and dial up a phone number, and that would connect via a modem, and that would tie up your phone line. So yeah, it was either you had to log in late at night or tell everybody else in the house not to call, and you also had to disable your. I forgot how that worked with call waiting, because that would also beep, or if that would I remember if it would screw up your connection or not. All right, so we do have our guest. I see him backstage. So let me introduce our guest here. Here's before we do that, let me just start with a comment here from living in Southwest Virginia. We started a local service provider, SmithNet, using Windows 98. Yep. And Tim Mooney says call waiting would screw it up. I think I kind of remember that. And I don't remember, I think we had to dial, there was like some code that you could do to temporarily disable. I forget now. Maybe it's like trauma, your brain forgets it, tries to forget past trauma. So let me just introduce our topic for today and our special guest. So down the rabbit hole, we're going to be talking today about BBSs, which are bulletin board services or systems. And what these were, for those of you who don't know what they were, these were computer servers that were running BBS software, and you had to dial up to them. And it was a peer-to-peer service, if I'm not mistaken, because they oftentimes were limited to the number of dial-ups that could connect to them. And if they were full, they were full. And oftentimes for smaller BBSs, it was limited to like 10 people, or the bigger ones had, more. But yeah. And the thing about them is that they were places that this is before the World Wide Web, before websites or anything else. These were just places that you could go and get things called shareware software. So there's software that that was technically, some of it was freeware, but some of it was shareware. But the only place you could get them is from BBSs or directly from whoever is making the software. But people would post up. The deal was that you were encouraged to upload software and interesting things, and that could be images. People would actually upload and download photos, just random things, because this is before we had digital cameras, and having a digital image was actually kind of hard to generate. And so people would trade images. This is a whole weird thing. Anyway, so you had to dial up these BBSs. One of the things about the BBSs is they often also had games, and they had early versions of multiplayer games on there. And oftentimes, because you were on dial up and you were limited to the number of people who were there, they weren't often real-time games. You had to play turn-based games, and you would play your turns and then log off. And then a day later, you'd log back on and you'd see what happened. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. And with my special guest, Scott Robinette, who is the CEO and founder of Elysium Software. And also we had him last month to talk about the Amiga, and then we got into talking about BBS and BBS games. So I'd like to welcome my guest, Scott. How are you, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Oh, good, good. Are you at home, or are you at some cafe somewhere?
Yeah, I'm at a cafe.
Okay.
Last minute. So hopefully the music and everything in the background isn't making this too awful.
No, surprisingly not. You're good. You're absolutely good. So I appreciate you joining me. I know that you have a busy day, and joining me from a remote location somewhere in Ontario, right?
Yeah, somewhere outside Toronto. It's funny because I heard you earlier talking about the star call waiting interrupting your internet connection, and someone put star 70 in. And it's the same thing in Canada. Maybe you have to do the same kind of secret codes to make sure that. But yeah, someone calling on call waiting was like devastating, especially if you were downloading or uploading something, because it would kill it.
Now, I don't remember. Do we have to tell? I forget. Did we have to remember to hit star something else to re-enable it? I can't even remember the whole protocol about that. And I don't remember being chastised for not remembering to re-enable it, or did it automatically re-enable after you hung up the phone? I think that's how it is, because I don't remember. I could see myself forgetting to re-enable it.
I think it was only for the one call.
Okay, so that makes sense, because I don't remember having to remember to do that.
Yeah, because I had it on auto dial that I had to do it every time. Like whenever I dial a BBS number, I had the star 70 in front of it and put comments so that there was a pause.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier too about the uploading. We had a lot of the ones that I called had this idea of a credit system, and the really good ones, for every, I don't know what it was, every megabyte you upload, you'd get 5 megabytes of download. So you would try to upload whatever you could, try to maximize how much you would download, right? Because it was like some of the stuff you upload is kind of garbage. But
I know, it's like you're limited. Like, I only have so many shareware games I can upload, because they didn't want you to upload like a legitimate software, or at least paid software, because that was illegal. I mean, technically illegal to upload CorelDRAW or something like that. And so you could only upload shareware or freeware software. But it's like, well, I only have so many. Or sometimes they would say, I don't know how, or they would say you can't upload certain programs, because I'm sure everybody uploaded the same version of Adventure or something.
Yeah, we had that too. Yeah, it was your obligation to go and make sure you weren't uploading something that was already there. But the ones that I were on had, secret doors where they had that stuff in there, the pirated stuff. But there was, we would call the ones in the States a lot. And there was a couple. I think there was one really famous one. I forget the name. I guess it couldn't have been that famous, but it's been a long time. I think they were out of Tennessee, and they were one of the ones that, like you mentioned earlier, they had like 6 or 7 phone lines, which was like mind blowing, right? That you could have 6 or 7 phone lines. You got 6 or 7 people on the BBS at the same time. That was like unheard of. And they had like a crazy amount of software on it. But most of the ones that we had in Windsor, where I grew up, in Detroit, there was like 1 phone line. So, all of us probably have nightmares of just hearing the busy signal over and over and over again, trying to get onto the BBS that you could get something out of it. It's a fight to get onto it.
Because back then, I mean, phone lines were expensive. I mean, they're not cheap now. I mean, that's like, even a cheap phone line is what, $15 to $20? Well, plus fees, probably closer to $20 a month. Back then, phone lines were closer to what seemed like a much more expensive. I actually don't even remember how much a phone number would cost.
They definitely were. They definitely were where I grew up. I think they were. You're talking, I guess, 1996, maybe earlier, maybe
earlier, yeah.
But yeah, I think a phone line 1991, 92, 1990 was, I think, probably like $30, which is a lot. So, and then all the hardware too. Like I ran my own BBS for 2 or 3 years.
Oh, did you? I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I could only afford one on the Commodore 64, and I could only afford 1 phone line. And I could only have the bulletin board up between 10 o'clock at night, 4 in the morning, or 6 in the morning, because the family wanted to use the other phone line. And I had two hard drives for my Commodore, 2 1541 hard drives, so that was just like, I was baller because of that, because I had two disk drives that you could work with. But yeah, it was fun for a while. It lasted.
Oh, and Tim Booney also made the point that long distance fees, to call outside of your area code, were prohibitive. I mean, for you to call up like the U.S., those U.S. BBSs must have been really expensive to download anything, right? Oh, I think we lost Scott. He might he'll try to log back in, but yeah, a lot of the stuff that we're talking about just brings back memories, because it was this period when I think I got into logging in. I got a my first PC, and I might have even started trying to log in using my Atari 800 back in the day, because that was my first computer, was an Atari 800. But I remember seriously getting into logging in when I had my first 386 PC. And back then it was, they started with like 300 baud modems and then went up from there. I think my first modem was a 1200, and then it made a big difference when you had a faster modem, to the point where you could actually see keystrokes. People who were who are typing messages. If you were in a chat room, you could see the folks who were on 1200 baud modems versus 24 or 3200 baud modems, just in how quickly their their words would show up in the chat. So let me see if I can bring Scott back in. I don't know if he can or can't. We'll see how this goes. Hey, Scott. Oh, I can see you, but you're probably sort of bandwidth limited or something using the local Wi-Fi over there, because it's downsampling you. I don't know if you can hear us or respond. Scott, can you hear us? Okay, so he might not be able to hear us or respond quickly because of if the cafe's Wi-Fi may be throttling him down, or not. We'll find out in a second.
Yeah, seriously. Sorry.
Yeah,
It's like I'm on dial-up.
So yeah, the struggle is real.
It's terrible.
This is
I even tried the
dial-up.
hotspot, and so I don't know if it did.
Well, I thought it would be interesting, and I don't know if this is even going to work. If I was going to try, we were talking about BBSs, and okay, let's continue that conversation. So you had your own BBS. Did you set up any games for folks to play on your BBS?
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to remember, because I had one that was like it was like Empire, and you would do these. You'd run a kingdom, and I remember it would say things like you harvested X amount of bushels, and you can hire this amount of knights. And I seem to remember it was multiplayer in the sense that you would set up a battle, and then someone else would come on and play the game later, and then do their part of the battle. So it was a little bit like a turn based kind of thing. And I played that a lot. And I don't remember having any graphical ones that you and I were looking at. And there were some graphical ones from the PC days. And all the ones I had in the BBS were all text-based.
It's amazing that we could get into just playing games. It was absorbed just seeing like stat numbers and number of bushels of wheat, and gold or whatever, ducats or whatever monetary system they were using. And that's all. It's just stat screens, and that's all the extent of the game. But we were still all enraptured and obsessed with these games.
Yeah, I loved it. There's a certain degree of I guess nostalgia that comes along with it, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Was it called Zora? I'm looking up the chat here.
Well, Zork was a text adventure. I think is it Zora? I don't remember Zora, but I remember Zork. That was a text adventure game. And it was actually a series.
Yeah. It turns out, when I was looking at doing my research for this with you, Tom, that the BBSs a lot of BBSs I was on, and the one that I ran was on a Commodore 64 running a piece of software called CNET. And I guess a lot of these text stores had to be ported to work on CNET. And so I think maybe the one I was working with, some of the ones that I played, were kind of variations of something that somebody had ported over.
Oh, that's true.
I guess I didn't really take that into account, that some would be running on a PC, right, or running on a Mac, and would have a different. I take all this for granted nowadays, right? It's like whatever. It's a web-based game. Everybody has access to the same thing, but it wasn't like that then.
Because I was doing some research too, that there was an adventure game called Hack and Slash on the Commodore or the Amiga, but it was actually pretty much a port of some other game. It was only on the Amiga. So yeah, to your point, there are a lot of games that either because
there was a really gory one on Amiga called Moonstone. That was like that. As you were saying, a lot of the games weren't available on a specific system, so people had to try to port or basically copy a game because it didn't exist. And so it's kind of that gray area of you are stealing from somebody else's IP in terms of how the game works, but because
you had no other recourse. So in a sense, it was as much of an homage. It was more of an homage than an outright attempt to rip off somebody else's game. It's just because it wasn't available for that particular platform. And so I always considered that, okay, that's fair. So yeah, there are like various iterations of resource management games or various versions of RPGs or roguelikes or whatever. And they're just because they're either you're on a Commodore, you're on Atari, you're on a PC or TRS-80, and they're all essentially the same game, or some very similar. But we do have, hopefully I'm gonna try to see if we could play either Trade Wars or Legend of the Red Dragon right now. I found it on that somebody had it on a browser, and I can, let me see if I can load this, if I can share the screen here. Present, share screen. Oh, I don't know what the heck happened. It just flushed my everything that I had loaded up. I can't believe that. Sorry, guys. I either a bad keystroke or something. I'm not sure what. But, okay, let me see if I could share the screen here.
There's only so much bandwidth here, Tom. That's the problem.
Okay, so let's see if you could see this. Can you see this, Scott?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so supposedly we could play it in our browser. So this is Trade Wars. And we're going to connect with the server. Enter your name. So let's enter, I'm going to enter Moondog. And I'm not sure if these are servers or if they're actual games. And I don't see Space Wars or Trade Wars on here. The Krusty Space, Spaceballs Unlimited. Shall we just pick one that I guess?
I'm seeing something about the online Trade Wars server, krustychicken.com.
Mm-hmm. But so it says it supports up to 25 games and 100 nodes, and it's saying it's asking me for a selection. So I don't know which of these to select. If these are games or if there are like rooms or sub servers or whatever.
No. I'm just seeing a button on your screen here that says play in your browser.
Oh, okay. Maybe it launched another. Hold on. Let me okay, can you see this one now?
Yeah. Now I can see it.
All right. So this is what I'm not sure which of these is the Trade Wars.
Oh. Yeah. I don't see it. Trade Wars games.
What do you think I should pick?
Try C.
Try C. Okay.
Spaceballs Unlimited.
Okay, so I guess all of them were either rooms or something, or virtual servers.
They must be the servers running it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say play Trade Wars. T. Show today's log. Okay. Include time day sub. Okay. Yes. So triport construction advanced port subdog construction.
Yeah, I'm having major flashbacks here. This is pretty cool. It's basically Empire was kind of the same thing. It's coming back to me now. You come in and see what everybody did to you while you were gone.
I know. You can see yourself getting destroyed. I'm going to ask Tim. So Tim says he still plays Trade Wars and Legend of the Red Dragon. Tim, do you have any advice on what we should do here? I can start playing, but I'm I don't know. Let's see. Press space to continue. Okay, so pause. This copy of Trade Wars is restricted to Crusty Chicken. Okay. Oh, what happened there? I think I logged myself out accidentally. Okay, T again. Play Trade Wars. I'll say no on today's log since we saw it already. So, initializing. Hello, Moondog. Welcome to Trade Wars 2002. Discuss tactics, request, support, report bugs. Today, join. Press space to continue. Okay. You are not found in the player database. Would you like to start a new character? Yes. Please enter your password for this game account. And let me just type in one. Okay, so who's playing? We got Chief Warrant Officer Tricon. We got Lieutenant Commander Crosby. Where's a pirate and a galactic scourge named Barf? Of course, it would have to be somebody playing named Barf. Your ship is being initialized. You must now christen your new Proverny Mercedes skiff. Choose a name carefully. What shall we name the ship? Shall we name it? Let's just name it TMI. Is that what you want? Yes. One moment, please.
That's where hard drives start, or hard drive disk drives start thrashing.
Okay. Tax time. I'm sorry, but not enough free matter exists for you to have a planet. You'll be started without one. Okay, yeah, sure. Tax time. You're being taxed 49,999 credits, or 5%, to help support the Federation's struggle against the Ferengi. For this generous contribution, your alignment went up by 33 points. So right now we're in Federation space, Sector 1. Beacon. I don't know what beacon means. Fed space, Fed law enforcement. I don't know what beacon is in means, but I guess that's the legal area that we're in, Federation space and Federation law enforcement. Ports that we are at we are Sol spaceport, class 0. It's a special spaceport. Don't know what that means, but the planets nearby are Terra. And we can warp to sectors 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 from here. So command, what shall we do? Let me just do command question mark to see the commands that we can do. So what would you like to do, Scott?
But if we try to land, can we land on a planet?
Yeah, actually, it says L. So only type in L. It takes your very best navigational leverage to avoid the multitude of space junk in orbit around this planet. Your computer system finally establishes a link with the Terran traffic control system, and you relax as it brings your ship down automatically to the last major spaceport on Terra. You shut your systems down and head out to the main colonist departure terminal, hoping to find plenty of eager people willing to risk the hazardous trip in cryofreeze just so that they can live on a clean, abundant planet. There are currently 219,413 colonists ready to leave Terra. Do you wish to leave or take in colonists? So I guess this is the main resource here that we can trade is colonists.
Yeah, let's pick them up.
All right, so let's type in T to take colonists. How many groups of colonists do you want to take? We have 20 empty holds.
I enjoy it. They refer to them as holds. Let's fill all the holds.
Okay, so I will type in 20 and see how we go. The colonists file aboard your ship, eager to head to new frontiers. You return to your ship and leave the planet. All right. I'm going to bring back the global commands. So what would you like to do next, Scott?
I think we should warp to a new sector.
Okay, so where is that? Move to a new sector, M. All right, which sector do you want to go? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
5 is my lucky number, so let's try it.
All right, 5 it is. Warp to sector 5. And from here, we could go to 4, 6, 1, 3526, 10537, and 19069. Those are other sectors. We are still in Federation space. There is a planet called Port 5. Yeah, I'll bring up the question mark again so that we can see all the options.
What do we do? P. It's a port. We do port and trade.
Okay, well, let's try that. P. Oh, it's saying that there's no port in this sector.
Yes, it says it's a planet. But it's
Okay.
H. Do H. Is H when you land?
Oh, it's a mine? Oh, no, wait, sorry. Maybe H is a command. Handle space mines. Okay. Oh, okay. So never mind. I accidentally pressed H thinking that that was for the planet, but no, it's another command. So let me just hit enter. Okay.
That's it's L. L to land.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Oh, L. L to land.
Okay. Landing sequence engaged. So we are in planet Spaceball. And these are the inventory. I don't know if that's the inventory on the ship or on the planet. And this planet was created by Fork. Here, let me bring up the commands that we can do here. Take all product, enter Citadel, display planet, change military levels, claim ownership of this planet, change population levels, load, unload colonists, take or leave product, try to destroy planet, or leave planet.
Just leaving sounds boring. But if what's the options again?
Okay. The options are take all product, C, enter D, display planet, M, change military levels, O, claim ownership of this planet, P, change population levels, S, load or unload colonists, T, take or leave product, Z, try to destroy planet. And also options are planetary help and leave this planet.
What happens if we do S? They'll probably tell us we have no holds, but
Okay. It's okay. I typed in S and it said unload colonists, and then it's giving you the prompt to display planet.
Say Y.
No, it's on. Let me try if it's D. Okay, sorry. Display. That's weird. I didn't understand why it was saying display planet. So actually, we have a choice: leave or take colonists. Should I leave them? L.
Yeah. Why?
Okay. Which production group are you changing? Or organization or equipment production? Where should we assign these colonists?
Now let's do equipment production.
Okay, 3. How many groups of colonists do you want to leave on board? So I guess how many do we want to leave there, and how many do we want to keep on the ship?
That sounds like a good number.
How many?
10.
10. Okay. Okay, so apparently we left them there. Let me see if we can get an update on the display. Okay.
If we press T to take and leave, is there stuff we can take now? I wonder.
Let's see. I see equipment. Take product. Shall we take equipment? Because I don't see any ore.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait, sorry. There's in the second column. There's stuff. There's like colonists to build one. Okay, so I think that's the daily product, planet amount, ship on the planet. No, I'm wrong. So planet, or is that, am I reading this wrong? Is there actually a product for us to take on the planet?
It looks like there's only equipment to take, is what I'm reading. And like you said, there's no fuel
But
there's no
what
gas.
does that mean for thousands? Colonists thousands. There's 10. Is that how many colonists it takes to wait? We left 10, right? Oh, this
Oh, yeah,
we're reading this wrong. Those are the 10. Those are the 10 colonists we left to build equipment.
So is it trying to tell us that it requires 2 colonists to build one thing?
Yeah, and so that's why it says that every day this planet will build 5 equipment.
Yeah, so we're getting 5, the third column there, we're getting 5 equipment every day because we have 10 colonists now.
Yeah, so we have to come back basically tomorrow, right? Because right now there's nothing there.
Yeah, it seems to me that we just dropped colonists off at some random dude's planet and now we're making it stuff.
Yeah, you got it. I think that's a good assessment. So what do you want to do now?
Well, good for him. I guess we leave the planet.
Okay.
I guess we got to find a planet that has some stuff there for us to take.
Or somewhere else to let's say leave planet Q. Yeah, I guess that's how it is. Here, I'm gonna see if team. All right, so folks, that is the gripping play-by-play of playing BBS games. Can you believe this is something that we would just sit around and like obsess about? Oh my gosh, wow, I got a plan for this. And we would have notebooks. I would have notebooks, plotting down all of these stats just so I would have them ready and keeping track of these things. And then I would plan out what I would do tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I see Tim in the chat helping us out here, and he said that he's playing it. But I might pick this up when I get home again. There's something very alluring about this. It's very calm. You know what I mean? It's not like playing Assassin's Creed, and it's just like so like it's intense. This is not intense.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of thinking about like, should I do this? Should I not do that? Yeah.
But the fact that you have to wait a day, literally a day probably, before you come back to the planet and see if anybody else did something is also, exercise in patience.
I might even make my kids play this just to see if it would change the way they think. Because yeah, they're all like playing. My daughter just plays sort of the reaction, sort of the equivalent of a dance game, but with your fingers and moving things around. And Tomas likes to play Roblox games and Minecraft. So yeah, it's all like immediate. So.
Same with mine. Same with my daughter. It's always playing these different Roblox games, and it's just the idea that they would have to wait until 9:00 at night to watch a television show when they just not used to be able to just binge watch everything all at once is so foreign to them.
It's so weird. So, folks, if you want to try this game, and we didn't even try out the RPG game, you can find. Let me just share the link to my notes page for everybody, but I've included the links to these online games here. And let's see if that, I don't know why that arrow showed up. That's weird. Okay. That might take you to the wrong place with that little arrow. But anyway, I posted it up again. You can check out Trade Wars or Lord of the Realm, or was that the other game? Why am I thinking? Legend of the Red Dragon, which is the acronym LORD, is what a lot of folks know the game as. You can play either of those games using your browser, which is great because I don't know. I haven't bothered to install a telnet um, terminal on my Mac, and I'd have to relearn how to do all these things, and I don't think I have the bandwidth to do that. So I much prefer the immediacy of logging in through a browser.
Will it actually let you use Telnet? Did it say that? It did say that earlier, didn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know what the actual addresses would be to log in, but apparently there are still you can log in through Telnet. I don't know. Find out. You tell me next time, Scott.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah.
All right. So let me load up my slide deck again, and let's. I'm just going to let's do the prizes here. The third and final brand clue for winning these patches. This 3-letter name company's full name was America Online. So yeah, don't type in hashtag AO. That's not correct. And the ubiquity of their promotional floppy disks and later CDs became a cultural touchstone, if not a meme. The fact that everybody got floppy disks and CDs from them practically on a weekly basis or wherever they were. And despite dominating the market in 2001 as the largest ISP, its business quickly shrank with the decline of dial-up internet. And by 2015, and in the span of 14 years, they disappeared. They were bought by Verizon, subsumed into Yahoo, and I don't even know if they exist anymore. So that's just how quickly, empires rise and fall in the internet age. So type in your hashtags and we'll get into the drawing. And we'll also do a special drawing for the Golden Trailer Awards. And let's see we only have one entry to the Golden Trailer Awards, and I think I know who it is. So if no one else is, I'm going to just call it right now. If nobody else is interested in winning the Golden Trailer Awards tickets, looks like we only have one entry. So that's probably 1957 Porsche Speedster. If I'm not correct, please let me know, Porsche Speedster. You won it last week because you were also the only person who entered the contest. So I'm gonna award you those two extra tickets for your daughter and her friends. Yeah, she can invite her dorm room or dorm floor to the Golden Trailer Awards tomorrow night. Hopefully they are over 21, because that was one of the big draws with the Golden Trailer Awards. But you remember, Scott, you went to it one year. Just the bar was out of control.
Is it still at the Orpheum? Is that like
yes,
Harlan Williams is doing it again? Because
no. So that was a photo from when we went.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because I've been twice. Because the other time I went, they had Tom Green, and we got to hang out with Tom Green.
Oh,
obviously,
yeah.
He's from Ottawa, right, from Canada. So that was I got to bro down with Tom Green for a bit. So that was pretty cool. The after party.
I'm blanking on who's the host. You know what? I will post up. Let me see if I can present the invite that I designed for them.
That's a very cool venue too. Obviously, there in LA, right? Very, very cool venue.
So let me see if I can pick up the Golden Trailer Awards here for 2025. And oh no, it's a PDF file, so I can't show it because apparently it won't show PDF files using it has to be an image file. There's no integration with PDF in StreamYard. But let's see if I can open up that file and I can read the. I'll open it up in PDF and then I'll share the PDF file. Present. Stop share screen, and I will share another screen. Let's see if I can find the PDF. And what? Okay, window. There we go. So that is the trailer awards. It's going to be James Murray. So comedian, I'm not actually, I'm embarrassed to say that I don't. Oh, you guys can't see this, can you?
No,
Or can you?
I can't.
It's
see
not showing. Darn it. What's going on? Oh,
But I haven't heard of that guy either.
all right.
If it means anything, you and I at least, I've never heard of him.
So yeah, so James Murray is going to be the host on Thursday night. Anyway, I digress. So congratulations to 1957 Porsche Speedster and his daughter and her friends to get to go. So let's go into the other two contests we have. Just remind everybody, I'm going to be giving away these Pro Here machetes at the end of the week, or at least that's going to be the deadline for this week, and we're going to give them away. And the next, let me look in the calendar here, if I can hopefully see when that drawing is going to be next month. And let's see. I think the drawing for the well, it'll be in the next 2 weeks. I'll be drawing for either the Pro Here's and also this LPVO. And you can find both of those contests. They're going on concurrently. You can find them on my website at moondogindustries.com/contest. You can enter both of those contests, but you have to enter them separately. And basically the requirements are the same for both. So if you're interested in an LPVO scope, or if you're interested in a set of Ear Pro, you can win those. Okay, I'm going to share the giveaway for our patches today, and I'm going to let you pick them. We have 6 entries, so just let me know when and I'll hit the draw button, Scott.
Okay, go for it.
All right, let's see who wins the first one. Living in Southwest Virginia, congratulations. I think this is the first time he's won. Excellent. And tell me when to draw again, and I'll draw the next winner.
Okay, I'll tell you now.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, there you go. I see it.
Mark Morris. Congratulations. And for our final patch goes to, let me know, Scott.
Now.
All right. Pick. Congratulations. All right. So those are our winners. And for everybody who did win, be sure to email me at, let's see, I'll post up my address here, moondogairsoft@gmail.com, and I'll just post a link to that. Put in hashtag AOL in your email, and just to let me know that that's that contest, and I will mail you out your Aguila patches, which will go well with your battle bags should you purchase them. And I'm hoping to get a set of those battle bags once I can find them at my local gun shop as well. So Pick says, tired of mailing you patches yet? Never. I appreciate everybody who enters the contest, and also who've entered the contest to win these Ear Pro as well as the LPVO. Your chances are really good. These are great. Hey, they're great products, and even better when you can get them for free. So if you enter the contest, you'll get a chance to win these directly from the manufacturer. So I want to thank our manufacturers for donating these or sponsoring the giveaway this month. And we'll have giveaways starting next month, including, I'll just give you a little bit of a hint, those ZKT patches. I got one of these right here. These ZKT patches, well, I'm going to be giving these away on my live stream starting next month. So they've given me a bunch of these to give away during the live stream. So those will be the prizes next month. So you'll get a chance to try them out and let me know how they work. But anyway, thank you, Scott, for joining me. And you got to tell me how you like playing Trade Wars again now that I've got you hooked on that.
I will for sure. And sorry to everybody about my poor connection. I'll make sure I upgrade to 28.8 for the next.
All right. So I want a report on how well you've done and have you developed your empire. Maybe next month or maybe the beginning of July. We'll see what your schedule's like.
Yeah, sounds great. Would love to do that.
All right. Well, thanks again, Scott. And thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. You be safe out there. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.